Let's break down the biggest Bravo headlines of the week. I'm your host, Zachary Reality with Kayla G. Welcome back to Shared News. We're gonna get all into it, but be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. Kayla, how are you doing? Bravo has kept us pretty busy this year.
They have. I feel like just as something ends, there's like 20 new shows right after.
Truly, and this most recent season of Salt Lake City just ended. Potomac is almost ending, and Real Housewives of Miami is coming to an end. But next week we have Jersey Housewives, Vanderpump Rules, and Summer House. Which of those three shows are you saddest that is coming to an end, and which one are you most excited about?
Ooh, okay. Potomac is one of my favorites, so I'm sad that one's coming to an end. And New Jersey's my ultimate favorite. I want to see the Teresa and Melissa drama go down. How did she get disinvited from the wedding?
Oh my God. You know, I'm kind of
What about
I'm
you?
kind of interested in Salt Lake. I don't know. Salt Lake is always so good, even when it's not, it still like has me invested. But I'm really liking Potomac a lot and Miami. So, I mean, how do you expect me to pick? If I had to pick, I guess Potomac, because Potomac is the most entertaining, and I'm most excited for Jersey and Vanderpump Rules too. But we have to break down some of these headlines because Robyn Dixon has broke the Bravo internet after revealing that Juan was talking to someone else in the pandemic. She shared all on her Patreon, saying that he's bored, he needs attention, blah, blah, blah. And even though we saw Robyn deny it on the most recent episode of Real Houses of Potomac, she actually admits it now on her podcast, Reasonably Shady. And Karen has called her out. Candace has something to say. Wendy. What are your thoughts about this?
Yeah, I mean, we knew that Juan cheated on her in their first marriage, and that's why they broke up. So the fact that she says talking, I guess it just depends on what your individual definition of cheating is, but who knows if it was just talking. And the fact that she just straight up denied it, and I read that she actually knew it going into season 7, but now is going to her Patreon, a paid subscription, to like give the tea. And I'm like, is that normal for housewives to do? Like, won't Andy Cohen be mad?
It wasn't really a storyline this season, and I think that's why some fans are really upset because she knew about this going into the last season, but she kind of buried it and then got into drama with some of the other girls. So I think that's why she was able to talk about it, because it wasn't a part of the show. And it was after the reunion was taped.
Gotcha. Okay. Maybe I'm confused on the timeline. I just was really surprised of honestly, that scene of her show and her doing the blue eyes with Karen after Karen calls her out, where she's showing like the picture and everything. It's an iconic Real Housewives of Potomac scene. So I was just surprised to see Juan cheating again. And they get married.
Yeah,
still.
isn't that why they broke up the first time? I mean, I guess my take on this is like Robyn was saying that she is so, she likes to be by herself. She is more of a homebody. She likes her space, and Juan, needs all this attention. And I'm just like, it sounds like you guys just have different love languages. And I feel like they're only together because they're just like, they love each other, but they want different things. So it almost seems like they should have an open relationship where it's like Robyn will always be his main piece, but he could be allowed to like get some on the side. And maybe she can too if she wants. But I wouldn't be surprised if these two got divorced again. Because this is not making sense.
I don't want it, but...
You don't want it. Do you think that Robyn will come back next season? Because a lot of people think she should be fired after just like, her constant not giving much. And then the good shit, she just like doesn't share.
Oh, it definitely, like, Real Housewives of Potomac hasn't had a shakeup in a while. And I mean, we do have the Green-Eyed Bandits, they call her, and oh my goodness, I'm blanking her name, her bestie, Giselle, thank you. But they didn't give anything this season. They're just pointing fingers at all like the newer cast and Karen and the Candace storyline with her husband making Giselle uncomfortable. It all just seemed very manufactured, and maybe we do need a switch up.
I think Giselle needs a man. I mean, I think she's dating someone now. I watched a clip of the preview for finale where it looks like she's like going on a date with someone, but I don't know if it's serious. But Giselle needs a man because she's just too worried about pointing fingers at everybody else's. And then for some reason, because Robyn's her best friend, she doesn't point it at Robyn. But if this was any of the other ladies, Giselle would have called it out. So it almost felt like sometimes it does feel contrived. Especially because Giselle really, I mean, she's great on the show because she stirs the pot and she kind of brings the group together, and she always has everyone. There's always something to talk about with Giselle. So I think they should keep her, but I think it might be time for Robyn to go or make Robyn a friend of, because Robyn is just not. She's just not giving us the real deal.
She's
Let's
not.
talk about Erika Jayne. She was spotted by paparazzi, which kind of happens often with her. She is responding to Tom Girardi's embezzlement incident. Now, we know Tom has allegedly embezzled more than 15 million from his clients that have been and has been charged with wire fraud. Erica says, "I have something to say, but not right now. You'll hear from me soon." And when she was asked by the paparazzi if she was worried about the situation, she says no. So, what do you think about this? Is Erica calling the paparazzi on herself?
I mean, she just had a quote from a paparazzi about Lisa Rinna last week, right? It kind of seems like that. And she's never worried about the situation, even though maybe she should. I mean, I don't know all the legal stuff. I'm not going to pretend to know it. I'm not a lawyer, but I mean, she was
Hmm.
married and really benefited from the money that her husband allegedly, got it illegally. So I don't know. And like, we're going to hear from her soon. Like, what do you think we're going to hear?
I don't know. I guess we'll hear from her next season. Um,
Right.
who knows? I would love for Erica to do just like a call her daddy interview, just like a fire podcast where she just like really speaks her truth. But this is kind of legal. So I'm sure she is just kind of going through it, trying to just stay quiet. Everything is so smart. Everything she's doing, she is triple thinking. Like she's just trying to be really strategic with every move she makes and everything she says so that she can get through this. And it looks like she's going to, it's been over 2 years of this and she's still kicking and moving. Um,
She
Now, I
is.
heard this is your favorite news of the week, Kayla, that Traitors
It
has been renewed for
is.
a second season, which I'm so excited about as well, and that we're getting a reunion special hosted by Andy Cohen. Now, Kayla, I have to be honest, I was actually a little bothered when I found out Andy Cohen was going to be hosting this because one, I felt like it should have been Alan Cumming, who's the actual host of the show. But that didn't bother me. It bothered me because on Watch What Happens Live this week, Andy said that he only watched 2 episodes of Traitors when he literally had Kate Chastain on his show because they were talking about Traitors. He's like, "Oh, I only saw a couple
Mhm.
episodes of it," blah, 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 and he just was kind of mumbling over his words, like he didn't know anything about the show, which is just like annoying, I guess, because someone who has been a dedicated fan of the show Traitors, I loved the first season. I don't want to see somebody like Andy who's just clearly not interested in the show. It's been out for a month, right? Like he's could have binged it. And
Mhm.
then this announcement's coming in 2 days. You would assume he knew he was going to be hosting this 2 days before they announced it. Maybe it was so last minute. They're like, someone pulled out. They're like, "Oh, and we need Andy. Andy, say you're going to host it." Do you understand what I'm saying and why I'm annoyed? Or do you think he's just too iconic?
I do understand. I mean, I'm sure he has to do his homework before the actual filming. I'm
I
assuming
know
they
he
haven't filmed
will.
yet. Yeah, but I get what you say. Alan Cummings was the main character of that show. I loved him as the host, but to be fair, he hasn't. A reunion's kind of a different ball game of, getting the tea out of people. Like Andy Cohen, that's what he lives and breathes. So I was excited to kind of get the Real Housewives like take of the Traitors on the reunion and really get the tea. And Alan Cummings is a movie star, not necessarily an interviewer host.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I think that he could have figured it out, but I understand why everyone wants Andy. There's a lot of Bravo people on the show. It's Peacock under NBC, but it only really rubbed me the wrong way because he didn't seem like he was interested in the show. And I feel like whoever hosts a reunion should be a fan of the show. So maybe he wasn't a fan yet. I'm sure he'll become one now. It's going to be good. Now, we both know because I was able to interview Ari already. So I kind of know a little bit about what he was thinking when he quit the game. But what are you most excited to see get answered at the reunion?
Ooh, I'm excited just to see everyone see Sari for the first time since watching the show back and seeing how it all went down. I know Ari said that I think he's talked to her once, but seeing them together and kind of seeing how they all interact, who's still salty. And I'm
Yeah,
also
I'm
excited to
excited.
see Kate. Yeah. I'm excited to see Kate Chastain because she
Hmm.
was just the MVP of the season.
She really was. I'm excited to see Kate in the hot seat, Brandy back. Rez is going to be so loud and annoying, even though he was eliminated the first
Yes.
episode. But I think what everyone's really looking forward to is seeing the confrontation between Just like the final like few people and Suri, because Suri really outplayed everyone. So I want to see Rachel's reaction, Quentin's,
Yeah.
Andy's, Ari come face to face with Suri, Christian, Cody, Stephanie, who was Suri's closest friend. Like there's a lot to hash out. So I think it's gonna be pretty good. It's gonna be on Peacock February 28th. So I think they'll be filming in the next week, and then it will be a pretty quick turnaround. So we can't wait to see, and we'll be talking about it. Any other final closing thoughts? What was your favorite news of the week? And what are you up to this weekend?
Definitely. I mean, Traitors really just made my day. And it actually, the reunion comes out on my 30th birthday. So it gives me an extra,
Ooh,
it's just like a
cool.
weekday. So I'm never, not actually doing something on that day. The weekend, I'm actually like kind of the studio that I'm working in. I'm like revamping it. I think I might paint it pink. What are you doing this weekend?
Oh, fun. What I'm going to karaoke tonight actually with some
Ooh,
friends.
fun.
Um and yeah, just some stuff around town, and I'm going to work this weekend too. So it'll be a great chill weekend. Let us know what you guys are up to and what your thoughts on all these Bravo shows are in the comments below. And be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. Ring the bell. I'm your host, Zachary Reality with Kayla G. You guys can follow our socials on the screen right now. And we will see you guys in the next one. Bye.